Hello. Today I am going to attempt to answer the most often asked question and the most ignored question on my YouTube channel, which is how much does your dog cost? This video came to a head with an incident that happened yesterday. This incident has happened to me several hundred times, if not at least 1,000 times. I was walking my dogs in the evening and I was standing in front of my neighbor's house and having a small chat with my neighbor. And I made my dogs lie down in front of his house. And here comes a man. This is the strange man, and obviously this is the fat person is me with my stick and my dog. Here comes a man who I do not know. He looks at me and my dogs, and I'm sure that he was aware of the fact that my dogs were quite obedient. And the first question he decides to ask is, how much did he cost? He points at Ganga and asks me the golden question, the golden Indian question. This is a question that typically any Indian who is impressed with something will ask. How much did he cost? It's an accepted question, a very vulgar yet accepted question. And my thought was, here is an idiot. And the reason why this person is an idiot is because he knows nothing about training. He knows nothing about dogs. If he wanted to find out about dogs or training or anything that was useful to him, he would have asked any of the 100 or 1,000 other questions other than how much did it cost. It is like me watching a violinist play a beautiful tune and going to the violinist and asking him, how much did your violin cost? I've had this happen to me hundreds of times. I build my own bicycles and I ride my own bicycles, and sometimes I ride hundreds of kilometers, and every pot-bellied idiot with yellow eyes and just unhealthy idiot who happens to pass me on his motorbike, he'll be impressed by the fact that here is a fat man who's cycling, and he'll not ask how long have you been cycling, how many times do you cycle a week, what is the practice required for it. No. How much does your cycle cost? Because now this idiot, without any knowledge about this whole field, has participated in this conversation. So the ego of this idiot's ego has been satisfied because he is participating in this by asking the most dumbest question possible, how much did he cost? Anyway, so initially I obviously gave him a dressing down. I told him, do you have any culture? I look at you, can I ask you what is the cost of your spectacles? What is the cost of your trousers? What is the cost of your belt? What sort of question is this? So immediately he understood that he was not dealing with a nice person, so he backed off. But he planted a thought in my head. Maybe I should calculate how much Ganga costs. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see how it goes. So the cost of a dog can be broadly categorized into these three categories: cost of acquisition, cost of training, cost of housing. Okay. So cost of acquisition is how much time and money I spent on finding out where Ganga was and getting him. Then cost of training is how much time and money I spent making him who he is today. Because obviously, if I had an ill-trained dog, no one will ask me how much he costs. The only reason why they ask me how much he costs is because they are at some level impressed by him. You don't ask the cost of something that you're not impressed with. Then the third component is cost of housing. Okay, so these are the three broad categories that came to my mind. Let's see how much each one costs. So the cost of acquisition has many components. The first component is searching for the perfect dog, then selecting the dog, transporting the dog, and the cost of the dog itself. Okay. So searching for Ganga, I would have spent 5,000 rupees in bus tickets, going here, going there, and all that. Then selecting Ganga, I went there and spent a lot of time, and if I were to pay someone to select me a puppy, I would pay them 2,000, 3,000 rupees. And I went there twice to make sure that I got what I wanted. So I just, instead of 6,000 rupees, I put 5,000 rupees. Then transporting Ganga from his home to my house was 13,000 rupees, just the fuel and the driver charges. And I put a very nominal value of just 1 rupee for Ganga. Let's say that Ganga cost me just 1 rupee. So the cost of acquisition is 23,000 rupees, approximately. Okay, next is cost of training. So I do at least 30 minutes of training with Ganga every day. Okay, so 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, 10 minutes in the night. And I charge my students 850 rupees for every 30 minutes I spend with them. So I have been training him for the past 8.5 months. And on an average, if a month has 30 days, and if I charge 850 rupees for every 30 minutes, the cost of training him in classical dedicated training is 2,16,750 rupees. Okay. Then comes socialization and walking. So every day I walk with him for 1.5 hours. So if I were to employ any person, just some manual labor, so that will cost me at least 100 rupees. No one will walk my dog if I don't pay them at least 100 rupees. So socialization and walking for 90 minutes a day. 8.5 months he has been with me. Average 30 days a month multiplied by 100 rupees a day. It is 25,500 rupees. Next is cost of feeding and housing. So again, I put a nominal value of 100 rupees of food for him. I buy meat and cook it and give it to him. Of course, it is more than 100 rupees, but even assuming a nominal cost of 100 rupees for 8.5 months, 30 days a month average is another 25,500 rupees. Okay. Then cost of vaccination and doctor's fees. I've just put a nominal value of 5,000 rupees, maybe a little bit more, but let's just say that it is 5,000 rupees. Now, if we look at the total cost of Ganga at 10 months of age, it is the cost of acquisition, the cost of training, the formal training, the cost of walking him, the cost of feeding him, and the medical cost. And at 10 months, he has cost me 2,95,750 rupees, almost 3 lakh rupees. And you can imagine he will cost, if I keep training him, which I will, at the end of 2 years, his cost will be 5 lakh rupees. And this is assuming a cost of 1 rupee for the puppy. So if I had paid just 1 rupee for Ganga, at 10 months, his cost is 2,95,750 rupees. The reason why I want to bring out this arithmetic is because as if you buy a dog just to show off, then the cost of the dog will be the major component. If you buy a dog to work and train with him, then whatever is the cost of the dog will become an irrelevant fraction of the total cost and effort you put into the dog as the dog ages. So if the dog is free or 10,000 or 50,000 rupees, it is a very small fraction of the total cost of the dog. And idiots do not understand this. Idiots do not understand this because they don't have any idea about the work that is involved in training the dog. To them, the dog is just something that they acquire to show off. So, the cost of Ganga right now, assuming that he was bought for 1 rupee, is 2,95,750 rupees. So, there you have it. Cost of Ganga, 2,95,750 rupees. Thank you.